Welcome, viewers. Today's show, we are going to talk about why this election matters. We are so happy and grateful. Happy New Year to every one of you. This is the Voice of Nigerians in Diaspora. We appreciate all of you, all our viewers. We also encourage you to please watch, view, comment, and let us know how you feel about it.
And subscribe too.
And subscribe too, yes. My name is Dr. Blessing Anyaiwe Onyekachi, and my co-host is Dr.
Afamefuna from Enugu State, but also live here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's so nice to see all of you again in our show in this 2023, a year all of us are looking forward to, that will define our nation, Nigeria, either to pull us up or pull us down.
Yes.
Either to put us on the global map or to push us down into
more.
the...
We're already down.
Exactly.
We're already down.
I said that our politician pushed us into a political darkness.
Okay.
Like deep. So it's kind of interesting, Dr. Blessing, that today we're talking about why this election matter.
Yes. Yeah. Why this election matters to us is so important to us because based off of what has been happening in Nigeria and what is still happening, I think that everyone in Nigeria that is supposed to vote or that is of age to vote has no reason not to vote.
Right.
As long as you are alive, you are not in the hospital, you must vote. Because this election is very, very important to us. That brings me to Dr. Afamefuna. What do you think about this topic? Why this election matter?
Yeah, Dr. Blessing, this is a very, very a critical moment in our national history. Why this election matters, number one, we are fighting for the soul of our nation, Nigeria.
Correct.
We are fighting for the identity of our country. We are fighting for who we are as a nation. Where do we belong in the society? Who we are as an individual in a nation, Nigeria. There's a lot of things going on. Our political process is so deeply corrupt.
Very.
Our nation is deeply divided. Inflation is all over the place. Poor infrastructure. You come to Nigeria, road network is so poor. Insecurity is on the rise. Now in Nigeria today, killings, it has become the order of the day. Each day you come on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, you see people are being killed recklessly. And Nigerians all over the world are being dehumanized. People are seeing us as a corrupt nation. It matters. 2023, this presidential election is a referendum on old order. Those that received independence from the colonial masters who have hung onto power for 60 years, the young Nigerian people are saying, we are tired. We appreciate they got the independence. We appreciate they have led us thus far. But it's time for us to change the trajectory.
And the narrative of politics. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Afam. You see, that brings me to corruption, because this topic is why this election matters. So this election matters a lot because of corruption in the country, right?
Right.
So we are talking for hoping and wishing and expecting this new Nigeria. All Nigerians, everyone is praying, believing new Nigeria is coming. With the corruption, what are we thinking about it? How can we make this new Nigeria that we're expecting to work without corruption? So I want everybody to look into it, to look into corruption. Where are we?
But again, Dr. Blessing, let me say something, because only because for us even to talk about corruption and look into corruption, we want to make sure that we have leaders who are fighting for corruption, who will say we want a zero corrupt government.
Yes.
We want to have a functioning government, because what makes corruption to emerge in a nation is when the system is not working properly.
Correct.
Just like now in Nigeria, the minimum wage for the civil servant is 30,000 naira. In 2023, what can 30,000 naira do for a woman with 5 kids? Maybe 2 are in state university, where the state government is expecting that woman to pay not less than something thousand, and you're paying that woman 30,000 a month. And that 30,000 is not even coming at the end of the month.
How can they prevent corruption?
Do you see it?
How can such civil servant, if he's, for example, a teacher, how can that teacher not collect bribe from students to pass them?
That is the problem.
How can that teacher not do handout for students?
That is it.
How can that teacher not have other businesses to do, ignoring children? They don't go to classes when they need to because they are doing other things that will give them more money.
It's as simple as other
you know, so there are so many things when we talk about corruption, little things that we can really do to help. You know, as government, we need to adjust. Said, okay, look for instance, somebody walk through his or her life hoping to be retired. That after retirement, he or she will be able to take good care of himself or herself.
Yes.
Now, after retiring, they are owing these people, not paying them for years.
Yeah.
That is inhuman. But that is, I can't even fathom this.
Yeah, but Dr. Blessing, you know, another thing that's really so heartbreaking, because Nigerian system became so clouded because of this deep sense of corruption. We now find it difficult even to differentiate between good and bad. When a state governor who have been owing the pensioners for 5-6 years, and the person say, I'm paying the pensioners their gratuity of 2017.
Can you imagine
and
that?
People are clapping that the governor is doing well.
Oh, he's paying for 2017, and this is, for example, 2022. They're paying 2017.
And the same governor, like now, in my state, the guy who was the governor in 1999, he finished for 8 years. He went to Senate, and he's receiving money from the Enugu state government pension for being the governor of the state.
Oh my God.
And he got a senator. He's receiving money as a senator. And these governors who have owned the salary, or the retirees, their money, are now in the Senate. They're also receiving money.
As a senator.
And receiving from the state money as a pension because they have been in state governor.
Plus the money they have looted.
That is corruption we're talking about.
This is so bad.
But people have institutionalized this corruption that it becomes normal. We cannot allow this to happen. And that's why even when people call us to say, hey, is this the Voice of Nigerian Diaspora? Is this a Obidate podcast? I told them, no. This is the Voice of Nigerian Diaspora. And it's about speaking the truth. And in this election, why this election matters is that we are making a decision. We want Peter Obi to be Nigerian president. That's it. We want
sanitize the
because
country.
We want somebody who will stand up for truth based on the itinerary antecedent to what he has done in Anambra State when he was the governor of Anambra State. I think if he implement the same principle as Nigerian president, we can start holding each other accountable. That is
little by little.
Yeah. Because it doesn't make sense that a state governor who takes maybe 300,000,000 every month for security vote, who takes the money of the local government chairman and distribute it the way he wants, then after looting for 8 years, then he become a senator
and relax
and he start getting money from the Senate, and the same person is receiving money from the state.
Okay. How can school graduates get a job?
And
if they are looting all this money, how can they do something or maybe produce something that can engage these children that are graduating from school when the whole money is going to the pocket of few people?
But again, okay, Dr. Blessing, that is another thing, because I think the way our politicians have been able to hypnotize our young people, they have lost the sense of dignity and what a good life should look like.
That's why I'm happy this time. Are you not happy what they're doing now?
I am happy.
Oh, I am so happy.
I will be so happy if Obi become elected.
Oh, he will.
Yes, because we want to see them to continue until we get to the finish line.
Yeah.
Because the thing is this, if all these governors, all these corrupt politicians that are no infrastructure, no industrialization,
no good road,
no good hospital, and the people are singing their praises. Sometimes you go on Facebook, you see young people writing saying, oh, the governor is doing this and doing that. Okay, let me tell you, in Enugu State, in my state, I'm from Enugu State. in my village is called Atako, Akebugu, very close to Gariki. Every second of January, we have what we call a cultural day. I'm a cultural man. I'm a typical Igbo man. I'm an Okano man. I love my culture. I love my tradition.
Yeah.
Even here in the United States, that's why my baptismal name is Benjamin. But when I came to the United States, I changed it. I'm from Efna. When you ask me, I'm an Okano man. But I ask people, every second of January, the governor will drive and come to there's one primary school in our place where they do the cultural day. The field where they do that cultural day has been as poor, bad as it has been from the first day they began.
And he will come there
with all the dust. And the road to that primary school has been bad. The governor has been coming for over 8 years.
Nothing
and people will be dancing and cheering the governor. And I ask myself, what has happened to the youth of our community? Is it not you guys' responsibility to say, hey,
stop coming?
Yeah.
If you can't do this,
we need infrastructure, we need industrialization, we need jobs. If you're starting to become a biologist and you finish, you can't find a job, then
that brings me to when group of people invited me for our Independent Day, Nigerians Independent Day.
Okay.
And I said,
what are we
celebrating?
Which is true.
Why should I come to celebrate who and what? Am I celebrating Nigeria that we are growing or because we are going backward? As I don't see any reason why we should celebrate independence because you don't want it. You celebrate when things are doing good. When things are getting better, you celebrate. I said now Nigeria should be weeping.
Exactly.
That Independent Day was supposed to be a day of weeping.
Exactly.
All Nigerians on Facebook, everywhere, name it, Twitter, crying. Letting people know how they feel, what pains them.
And you see... and that's why this election matters. That we cannot, my dear Nigerian people, we can no longer afford to stand by the sideline of history in this election. You cannot say, hey, I'm not taking a stand in this election. You cannot say it doesn't matter to me in this election because it matters to you. Yes. It matters to your family. Yes. It matters to your neighbor.
To your children.
We must take Nigeria back. That Nigeria can no longer work for few individuals. That Nigeria can no longer be for sales. Okay, take a look.
Look at our young ones.
The state governors, we keep on borrowing. There's no limitation on what they can borrow.
Hey, don't talk about borrowing because if you talk about borrowing, I will start weeping for my state, Delta State.
That is the problem. So
the oil producing state, the first and the largest oil producing state. Okay, look at Governor Wike, what he's using his own money to do in River State. They paid us more than they paid him. Look at what he's doing. Governor Wike has changed the narratives of politics, governorship and all that. Nobody knew that the money governors make can do stuff like that. Every day when I see him, I always smile. He is the man to reckon with. He is the man with good heart and love for his people. Every day he's commissioning projects. There is no local government that this man has not touched. That is the kind of man that we also want in the future to be the Nigerian president. He is doing wonderfully.
You see.
Look at my country, that are nothing. They even went to my village. The road was, people were passing the road. They went, destroyed the road and abandoned it. And they have the guts to even buy rice to people, telling them to vote for them again. That they started visiting them, and it beats my imagination. If these people, they don't have conscience.
No, they know. You see, they're seeing that our people are so gullible, and they continue to squeeze our people so deep.
Don't you think that's why they are surprised what is happening now? They never expected youth to voice out their concern.
Exactly. And they see, but I will encourage the youth. Because this election and moving forward, we always talk about the birth of new Nigeria.
Yes.
And this new Nigeria, even if when Obi becomes Nigerian president, we will continue to hold Obi's government accountable.
Yes.
It's not going to be business as usual.
I told him when he visited here, when he came to Atlanta, I told him and said, Your Excellency, the way all Nigerians are supporting you, is the way we will scrutinize, we will question your government, we will question your leadership, we will question your leadership. 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 We will question We will shout when you're not doing what you promise us.
In other words, to whom much is given,
Much is expected.
Nigerian people, you see, Nigeria as a country, we have suffered so much.
Yes.
We have been let down so much. We have been crushed. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be a Nigerian because
very proud.
our people are doing, despite in the midst of all these difficulties,
we are still happy.
We are still pushing. Come look at music industry. Our youth are doing well. Software industry, our youth are doing well.
Even education,
education, everything.
They sit on the floor to study. Still, they are doing
very
wonderfully.
well. You see,
that country is so much blessed.
Exactly.
With brains. All over, wherever we find ourselves, we are always the best.
Exactly.
Be it in Nigeria, we are the best. Outside Nigeria, we are the best.
In America.
We are so proud of ourselves. Even in America, anywhere you call Nigerians, they look at us. Even in everything,
right.
Nigerians are the best.
Yes.
So if we have good government that can encourage our youth, that can encourage people, leadership of inclusion, Nigerians will do exploit.
But let me say another interesting thing, Dr. Blessing. You know, what really amazes me in this campaign season, what I'm seeing that new Nigerians emerging have indicated and shown that Nigerian people are not as divided as our politicians suggest.
We are not.
Because
we are not.
Yes, we love.
They thought we are.
We
but
are
we are
not. We are united. We're just clamoring for a unifier,
yes,
a leader that we can unite around. Then you can, because okay, look at the impact of corruption. Take a look at our Super Eagle. This last World Cup, we could not.
Yeah, because why?
Of the corruption.
We don't choose the best.
Yeah, exactly.
We choose because it's my brother.
Exactly. Nepotism.
I know his mother.
Nepotism.
I know his father.
Or bring money before we select you.
Yes, it brings us down.
You see,
we are not growing.
Soccer was one of the things that when it comes to soccer, there's no Igbo, there's no Hausa, there's no Yoruba, there's no Ijaw, there's no
unifies people.
But they have even touched that.
It's so sad.
One thing that unites the entire Nigeria, bring a common joy to all Nigerians, they're also messing it up. So guys, that's why, because if we have a credible presidency, that president will look for a good mix of youth and sports, whose mission is to see Nigeria be the best in soccer. As a giant of Africa, we should be leading in soccer everything. Our Super Eagle should be flying. Now, our Super Eagle, our wing has been trimmed down, crushed all over because of corruption.
Cut off.
That's why.
The good ones are in the villages.
Yes.
The good soccer players are in the villages. Nobody to push them forward because they don't have godfathers or godmothers. All these are bringing us backward.
Yes. Okay. Let me actually. It's kind of interesting now. Where even the impact of corruption, how is it affecting everything?
Yes.
I'm not saying that it really surprises me sometimes. During December in Nigeria, I don't know if it's something in Delta State, but I know in Enugu State during the Christmas we have all these soccer competitions.
Yes, we do.
And I have reflected deeply about it and asked myself, what is the aim of these soccer competitions? Because when you come to the village during the Christmas, you see highly talented players.
Yes.
But at the end of that competition, there's no way forward for any of those kids. It should be an opportunity if we have good leaders, both in the community, both in the state, both in the federal. At the end of these competitions, those stars, look at Mbappe of Cameroon, who is playing for France.
Yes.
You see, this small boy, his father said that when he wanted the boy to play for Cameroon, they were demanding for money.
Yes.
So if this boy was in Cameroon, the talent would have been pushed down. Nigerians, you see the effect of corruption. You see why we must vote wisely. You see why we must vote competency.
Yes.
You see why we must vote P2B and Yusuf Dati in this election, because you see, no one said that Tinubu and Atiku
they are not good.
Yeah, we said that out of these three,
Obi is better.
This is the best we can count on now.
Somebody who the load is too much for them.
Yes.
Age-wise, that can handle it right now.
Yes. So that's what we're saying. So get your PVC.
Oh yes, it's so important. Your PVC will solve this corruption that we are talking about.
Don't sell it.
Don't sell it. When you sell it, you're selling your future. The future of your children.
And our future.
And our future.
Because
future of children unborn.
And of our community.
Correct. Selling your unity, the love in our community. Selling your children hope and aspirations. You suffer so much to send your children to school. They graduate. The aim is to graduate and take care of the home, take care of their young ones, take care of their parents. But they graduate and they're still demanding money from you. It's pushing women into doing so many things because it's so hard for someone to finish school and still depend on the parents. Can you imagine that? A young girl, you know how to fix your nails, your hair, and all that after graduation. You can't be going to your parents all the time to give you money for your hair. What happens without a job? Please, we should have conscience.
But you see, we have all it takes to be the biggest economy in the world. Correct. Because we have everything.
The best in the world.
We have the minerals, we have everything.
Everything, agriculture, good soil. Let's not even talk about oil. We have even manpower, human power, natural resources. Name it, God has blessed us with.
Yes. And you see, but you see, that's why that I'm really focusing so deeply
on good governance.
Good governance.
To manage all these resources.
Because if we're able to get the presidency right,
yes,
and we know that in the next election cycle, there will be a lot of tsunami going on in Nigeria.
You see what happened?
The more competent...
Sanitization.
Exactly. The more competent people will start emerging from... Because every election is local. Please, in your community, if you're able to go around, you must not have all the money to campaign. Just make sure in your family, speak to anyone to say, hey, let us get it right for once. Right? Mama, Papa, Pekin, Grandma, everybody.
Everybody.
Vote competency. I understand that we have a lot of party loyalists. Maybe you're a PDP, card carrying member for a very long time. But
let's do something different.
Come on, man.
Don't you think so?
Come on, man.
Don't you think we need something different?
Come on, man.
We need to spice our country up with something different. We're tired of same...
monotony kills interest.
It has killed all our interests.
Like in my state, Enugu State has been a PDP state since this current republic since 1999. PDP has been, leading the state. I don't see proper infrastructure development.
Like my country.
I don't see proper security. There's a lot of senseless killing in the state, and I don't even see the state government voicing out and defending the people. We must defend our people.
You know why sometimes they don't defend our people? They don't want to defend because they don't want to offend anyone because they want to be the president or vice president.
But to be a president is to defend the country.
No, because they think if they say something, those group of people will not vote for them.
But again, that is why we're talking about new Nigeria.
Correct.
Because new Nigeria that is emerging will be a new Nigeria that will be the voice for all. I'm not looking for Nigeria. I'm not looking for a government that will work for me and my friends. No. But I'm looking for a government that will work for all Nigerians. Everybody. We are all equal in the eyes of law. I want to see a Nigeria that will protect women and children, everybody.
Yes.
And because I will tell people, I'm not a politician. I have not been a politician. But what I am a Nigerian, an Enugu man who have the interests of my people at heart.
Correct.
I want to be able to see in the image of a woman who is on the street begging. I see the image of my own mother because I want to see a dignified life for my people.
Correct.
I want to see a child who wake up in the morning to be able to eat 3 times a day. I don't want to see a child who's supposed to be in a classroom and is hawking on the street. That is not what it should be. Yes. This is what we call structural sin. This is institutionalized sin. We cannot continue to allow this to happen. No. We want to see a government that is working for everybody.
Yes. Yes.
We need industrialization.
Yes.
We need good hospital. Like people continue to go to India for medical tourism.
Can you imagine?
Enriching India.
And when they even go to India, if I'm not mistaken, most of the doctors there and the nurses that will take care of them are Nigerians.
Isn't that sad?
Some of them come here
Exactly.
Most of them.
You're taking care of them.
And I'm taking care of them.
You see that?
You see, why are we losing our manpower? Traveling every day out for safety, for security, for good health, name it, for your children, for their future.
But even more fundamentally, Dr. Blessing, why should our people vote any political leader who comes to Europe or America or Asia for medical tourism? Why should you vote the person in power?
Do you see that? You vote for somebody, you can't even afford it. They fly to take care of themselves.
Yes.
How will such a person take care of the hospital?
Why would that? Because they don't care. They don't care. Because they come to overseas. Their children are studying.
Likewise, Minister of Education, the children are outside studying.
The country.
How do you think that person has initiative or love for the country?
And they're telling you the future is here. The tomorrow are here. We are. The new Nigeria. These empty promises every 4 years.
Or 8 years. They come and go. It's still it's not even the same, because if Nigeria were to be the same, I would say, okay, like stand still. But now, it's not
going down,
it's going backward. So, all Nigeria, can you imagine in the next 8 years if you don't vote wisely this time?
Even our people that should even reflect on this Christmas season that just passed. The high cost of things.
Yes.
How many people traveled home in this Christmas? A lot of queue all over the place. There's no fuel. The gas, the fuel you see, the high price.
And we have it.
The bag of rice is like 50,000, 60,000. Like, people are suffering. Nigerian people are being squeezed.
Every day.
Squeezed.
Every day.
Squeezed.
Every day.
And politicians are having fun.
They don't care. Most of them don't care. That is why I always say, I love Governor Wike. And for him to do what he's doing, he's Minister of Works, is good.
So we need in this election, because now even in this election, we can't be talking about now all the candidates. We just have a few more weeks.
Few weeks to go. Few days to go.
Nigerian people, it's time for us to take a pause. New year, new resurrection, new determination.
New us.
New us.
New Nigeria.
New Nigeria.
Yes.
To save the soul of our nation.
Yes.
And ask yourself, I'm not talking about Buhari right now. You see, when we talk about Buhari, Buhari is...
But Wike is also under Buhari.
Yeah.
If every governor
did what he did, doing something,
everybody will praise Buhari.
Yeah.
You get my point.
You see, I always say, sometimes we talk about Buhari.
No.
But let's talk about
take off your home.
Yeah, let's talk about the state governors too.
The local government, what do they call them? The local government should take off the local government. The governor take off the state.
Okay,
then before the president.
Okay, even Dr. Blessing, let's talk about, now we talk about local government.
Yes.
You know, Nigeria has been talking about state police. I'm like, you are right. Local government election in Nigeria has been pushed for state governors to handle it.
Which is not good.
And now, the local government election in Nigeria is the most corrupt democratic process in the Nigerian history. Like in Enugu State now, I always ask them, why do you guys waste money during local government to campaign? Because prior to that campaign, the state governor will write the names of those who are going to be the local government chairman. Then he will now give them money to do all this nonsense they are doing campaigning. But at the end of the day, the people the state governor already selected will be made the chairman of the local government. The question is this: if you have already selected them, why not give them, just put their name, they'll just go to local government. That money they're wasting to do campaign, let them put it to use.
To work, yes.
But the question is, if the president will just sit in his office and write the name of all the governors in the state, like what the governors are doing with local government, where shall we be? So a lot of this is
A lot of things to talk about.
Deep
in
corruption in this country, and that's why we have to really vote in this election.
We must, please, we must.
Don't talk only about Buhari. Talk about your state, your governor.
No, talk about your home.
Your home.
Your home, from your home to your community.
Yeah,
then from your community to your village. Then from your village to your town.
Yes.
Town to the city, to the state. Before federal.
Yeah, like
everybody has something to do. In this election, everybody matters.
Yes.
Everybody
in every election,
is involved.
Yes, moving forward in the country.
Everybody is very important.
Yeah.
So we should all arms on the deck to do this.
Yeah, because we can just continue to point towards the federal.
No.
If I tell people, if let's say I want to talk about my state. I'm from Enugu State. If the governor of Enugu State transform Enugu State to be like Singapore, and the governor comes to consolidate it.
Yes.
Then
it will continue.
It will continue.
Oh, that even make me to remember abundant properties. Look at the properties. Then, for example, you come over and just see this that is good. You started it. Your tenure finished. You left it. The incoming one, no continuity. They leave it there. The whole money that was spent. When they show Obudu Cattle Ranch, when I was in Calabar, I went there to Obudu Cattle Ranch. It was like the way people go now to Dubai and do whatever they want. No, now when you go there, it's eyesore. No continuity.
You know the problem is because if they continue in that project, they're not going to be able to steal enough money.
Yes.
So they have to look for another way to start something new where they can steal money. So in other words, there's need, just like in this country, there are people whose responsibility, here in America, whose responsibility it is to maintain government property.
Yes.
Soldier go, soldier come, barrack day.
Continuity.
And we need all those things.
We need it. We need monitoring people who can be monitoring every every project that has been assigned to people to make sure that they finish. Okay, look at here. When they give you road to do,
you'll be audited.
You will sign warranty. 10 years. If anything happened to
you
the
come
road,
and fix it.
You will be the one to fix it with your own money.
But in Nigeria, is that a governor, we have a construction company.
My village, I told you, they destroyed the road. They didn't even do it. Before, people were passing on the road. But now, nobody can use that road anymore. But I believe somebody has collected money. There is nobody, no check and balance. There is nobody that is following all this project to make sure that they did what they said they were going to do. And they paid them. It's so sad, my people. It's very, very sad. In this new government, we are expecting check and balance.
Yes.
If you give a project, there should be committees that follow up with projects. Make sure that these projects are being done. Make sure that they did what they said they were going to do before you finish the payment. And after that, there must be a warranty. There must be a warranty, be it 5 years, especially the roads. The schools is very, very important. That is why this election matters a lot to us.
Yes.
It matters a lot to us.
And also, Dr. Blessing, enough of all the nonsense that has been going on, where those in the politics and the leadership feels that Nigerian people are stupid. They can take us for a ride. They can take us for granted. We are standing up. We are speaking up now. If our people cannot voice out some of those things, we will voice it out for them. We will stand firm and defend the future of our people.
Yes.
Because they suffer. For me, I want to tell people, it's not for me, an Enugu man, a Nigerian, is about the sufferings of a Nigerian people.
Correct.
It's about the sufferings of Enugu people. It's about their future. It's about their hope. It's about their dream. I want to see a young boy who wants to become a doctor tomorrow, to be able to go to school, achieve their dream, and implement and help to build their community.
Yes.
I want to see a young girl who desires to become Nigerian president one day and pursue that dream in Nigeria and achieve it, irrespective of her last name, her family,
the village,
her tribe,
the
culture, whatever. We are all Nigerians,
yes,
and we pay allegiance to our green, white, and green.
Yes.
That is what we are looking for. I don't want to have a government of favoritism. I don't want the governor to say, a governor is my friend, so
yes,
I'm not going to speak
my mind,
how
I feel. You'll be scared to speak your mind.
I am not in this podcast so that I'll become a Peter Obi's friend, or I become a Governor Ugwai's friend, or I become Governor Wike's friend. But I'm here to speak, to be the voice for Nigerian people, calling for dignified life, calling for a government that works for all Nigerians.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Afam. That brings me to, how do you think we can minimize this corruption that has eaten Nigerians so deep? How do you think we can curtail it?
Okay, from my own perspective, to start with, I don't see in any healthy, functioning society where a government will approve 20 million naira to do a project, and by the end of the day, the contractor will bring a document to say, I have finished this project, and no one will audit them to know if they really did the project.
Correct.
No one will inspect the quality of the project they did.
Correct.
In Nigeria, you will just approve the money. And of course, when you approve the project, the whoever that approved the project will go back and take 50% of what he has approved. Then because he's already dented.
You see, that brings me to, how will the person give you good quality?
Exactly.
When you have taken most of the money.
Exactly.
As kickback.
Exactly.
So he's going to use the little money that is left, and he's still going to cut his own. How will they give you good quality?
There's need for us to make corruption a very, very big offense in Nigeria.
Correct. I agree with you.
My intake with Peter Obi, if he becomes Nigerian president, is that there's need for him to move away from the old system. We need brand new leaders in all sectors of Nigerian governance.
Yes.
Because most of the people who are already there now are stooge. They have been dented, deeply corrupted in the process.
That brings me to something you said now. Did you listen to Mrs. Peter Obi's speech, where she was talking about involvement of women in this coming dispensation?
I haven't listened to that.
Oh, she said his husband's leadership is going to include a lot of women,
which is good.
What do you think if they include women? What change do you think that will come to Nigeria and Nigerians as a whole?
No, I have always tell people that we haven't given women enough opportunity to implement their God-given potentials into democratic process in our country. Okay. And there's a very, if we give women that opportunity, I will see a lot of improvement in the area of governance, because by default, good women have that tenacity of caring, of taking care of homes, holding things together. And if we bring women into the administration,
they will pay more attention to details,
improvement, accountability. Men women doesn't hide how they feel.
Yes.
They're going to speak out, and that is what we want in this election. Of course, some people might argue that there have been some women given opportunity in Nigerian government that have messed it up.
How many of them?
But how many men have been messing it up over the years?
Correct. And they're still there.
They are still there.
And they're still moving forward.
So I'm so happy that Obi will give a lot of consideration to a lot of women, young women.
Yes.
Now in Nigeria, we are tired of old people leading Nigeria. It's kind of nice for us to make this clear. We are tired of old people. Yes. We love old age. We love our fathers.
But we want them to rest.
Yes, we want
They
young
have
people.
worked so hard. We want them to rest.
This is a computer age.
If
social media age.
Yeah, okay, look at it. If 80 years is still coming to be the governor or the president, what will the children do?
I don't know.
You see, if you're occupying the spaces that your children and grandchildren are supposed to be.
You see, in the technology world, we're talking about people going to Mars, people doing all this internet age and everything. Tinubu and Atiku, these are old people.
They should rest.
They are not in touch with what is going on right now.
They should rest.
So
we appreciate them. They have given their best.
Yes.
They have given their youthful age. This time they need to rest.
And that's why I agree with Obasanjo in his letter when he's endorsing the P2B that even though Tinubu and Atiku, these are good people, but the issue is that
the challenges
in Nigeria right now require
a younger person
with a different ideology who is connected with young Nigerian people. Because this administration should be open to all Nigerians, both home and abroad. Whatever skills you have,
good skills
you feel that will help to move Nigeria into a new stage, bring it home.
Yes. Bring it home.
Bring it home.
And use it for our people.
Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Yes.
We want to be able to go home.
Yes.
We are stranger in a foreign land.
Yes. No matter who we are.
Even if we're in America, think we're enjoying. We want to be home.
We miss home.
Yes, we want to be home. Yeah.
So home is home. This Christmas, I miss that smell of rice with goat.
Oh, exactly.
Goat meat.
And
I miss it.
Kids coming to the house and you're giving them money and with the masquerade and dance and all that.
Dancing and all that. We miss it.
It was so cold.
We know we are away, but we're away from home. This is like home away from home.
Yes.
Nigeria is a home.
Yes.
We want to make it better. We want all of us to stand up and feel good that we are Nigerians, to be proud that we are Nigerians wherever we are. We don't want people to say, where are you from? And you say, you're scared to say, not even scared, you are ashamed to say you are in Nigeria.
Or like sometimes you will be at the airport, right?
Yes.
You fly in, you come through the immigration. As soon as they see your green, white, and green passport, they say, okay, stand over there.
Can you imagine that?
It is dehumanizing.
Can you imagine that?
And sometimes I'll be, what is actually the office of there's the foreign minister of Nigeria as well as the person in charge of Nigerian people in diaspora.
That is why we want this new Nigeria.
Yes.
Whereby our names will be lifted up again.
Exactly.
So that anybody that hears Nigerian, they will look at us with dignity.
That we're the giant
of look at us
we are the
respect.
Pride of the black race.
Yes. They will look at us with joy. Even though now they know what we can do, but still, they still look at us that we are corrupt.
But, Dr. Bliss, look at Rwanda. Let's talk about Rwanda. What Paul Kagame is doing in Rwanda.
Just look at it.
After the genocide that's happened in Rwanda in the early 1990s, Paul Kagame has moved that state to be one of the that country has become one of the fastest growing economy and infrastructure in everything in Africa.
That's my prayer for Nigeria.
That shows it can be done.
Yes, he is capable and
it can be done.
It can be done in Nigeria. We can do it. It takes all of us, not only one person, not only P2B, not only me, not only you.
No.
It takes all Nigerians
because it belongs to all of us.
To make it better. It takes all Nigerians, the child, the children, mother, father, cousin, uncles. It takes all our effort to make it better, to make it right. So this time, we can't afford not to make it right.
And also, I want to speak to Nigerians in diaspora. I don't want you to say, hey, because I'm not home, it doesn't affect me.
It does.
You might be in Germany, Switzerland, United States, and tomorrow you get into trouble and you'll be abandoned. You see, how many Nigerians are languishing in prisons around the world? How many Nigerians are being killed recklessly around the world? You need a leader who will speak truth to power, who will speak to world power and say, hey,
my people,
if you dehumanize a Nigerian because he's a Nigerian, I will ask tough question. And if you don't give me an answer, I will hold your citizens accountable who are in my country. We need a president who will defend us
Stand
both
for us
home and
and
abroad.
yes.
We need a president who will be our voice. So please, if you are overseas, call home.
Yes.
Call your people.
I said it before. Call your people.
I told you.
Yeah,
my mother called me. I don't forget that. She
Yes.
said, call your father to go and get PVC.
Yes. Yes. Everybody call your people.
Call home.
It matters to us even in diaspora more. People don't know.
Yeah.
People are home. Some people say they are used to it, which I told them nobody is used to suffering.
No.
But you can't even go home and survive like those at home.
Yes.
Because the torture will be too much for you.
Exactly.
It matters a lot to us more than them in Nigeria. So you have to, even if you're not voting, you have one or two people you're helping, you have one or two people that you are your friends that you talk with, please let them know. This is the beginning of the year. So many people have started calling you for school fees, for money. Please, before you do that, ask them the party they belong to. Make sure they have their PVC before you hand that money to them.
Yes.
That is the way you too can contribute. Even if you're not voting directly, but indirectly you're voting by speaking.
Yes.
Talking to them.
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, because you see, this corruption and lack of not working government or not working country has pushed a lot of our young people into various
many things.
Now in Nigeria, money ritual, people cutting people's head off, so many things. You see a mother selling a child selling a mother, so many terrible things. People are so desperate. Even mental. Okay, Doctor Blessing, you are a mental health professional, right?
Yes.
And you know the impact of depression and trauma. For the first time in Nigerian history, the rate of suicide is rising. No one is talking about it.
No one is talking about it. They don't know what is causing to the people.
Last time, worry, a young man, just a small kid, the baby was like either few months old. The father was sleeping and the baby cried, and the young man woke up and started beating the baby until I think the baby eventually died. I said, this issue of mental health, we can talk more about that.
Yes. You know what is happening in Nigeria now? People are not even thinking about the after effect. You see, every day I share tears for my people. Nobody is paying attention to the trauma that is occurring in the minds of our people. These days, I watch some things they send to me. Like my husband, there are things he can't send to me. Because when I watch it, I can't sleep. It keeps bothering me.
Yeah,
because sometimes you see people killing people, and instead of people to ask questions and help, they are taking pictures and videoing.
Right.
This is unheard of.
The other day, I saw a video of this man in Lagos, an old man trying to fall under the bridge of water, and they were begging this man, talking to him. They're speaking Yoruba, so I don't understand Yoruba. Eventually, they're trying to hold man to beg him not to fall into the water. And the man left himself, blessing, just to see this man fall inside the Atlantic Ocean. It was so terrible. And I saw the boat, people running to see if they can rescue him. He has gone underwater. And the question is you can imagine what must have happened, that the type of frustration this man must have experienced.
Gone through.
He said, what am I living
for? And do you think about the trauma that is going through the family right now?
But the whole kid, you see, it's so brutal in the country that no one talks about it anymore.
How can we take off our people?
We can only
aftermaths, because a lot of people are going through depression.
We can only do. I can answer that. We can only do that if we elect good governance, the presidency. If Peter Obi becomes the Nigeria president, and we're able to appoint credible, transparent individuals in key parastatals and ministries in Nigeria, and will begin to heal.
We need it.
We'll begin to, both mentally,
take long
emotionally,
time. Healing, yes.
to heal the nation.
Physical, mentally, emotionally. We need to
Obi
heal.
should be ready
No love
to
again.
hit the ground running the first day.
From day one, that is said they're going to start from day
From
one.
the first day.
Yes.
Executive order. Putting things on the ground.
Together.
There are a lot of pain.
A lot of our people need
There's a lot
psych
of-
evaluation.
Yes, there's a lot of pain.
A lot of
brokenness.
pain.
There's sadness. Anger.
Sadness,
Yes.
unforgiveness,
Yes.
a lot of things.
So this is what we need. We need house cleaning. We need a powerful house cleaning in Nigeria.
Yes.
And we need to, speak out. If no corruption, we must kill corruption in Nigeria. Is either we kill corruption or corruption will kill us. And the only time we have right now is in this election. If we fail to get this election right, my Nigerian people, if we fail
This time,
to get it right this time, it's going to be rough, or we may never have a country. Because a lot of people are using their last energy to push.
to fight for this to happen, for this new Nigeria to happen. A lot of people are using even their blood, their sweat.
And that's why you see everybody bringing whatever they have. Some are printing poster. Some are like.
Have you ever seen it?
It's never.
I've never seen people do things with their heart this way.
But
love they have for their country.
That's what I saw on social media yesterday, where people are printing PDP bag of rice.
Oh,
They put P2B picture. They put their PDP. They say in Bauchi State that people are now saying, trying to tell people that P2B is PDP.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That is a fraud, and we can
big time fraud.
So we cannot allow that to happen.
Big time.
And so this election, this podcast is not for PDP. It's not for APC. It's not for Labour Party, but it's for good governance.
It's for truth.
It's for truth. And this podcast, based on what we have on the ground, we're asking Nigerian people to vote LP, vote P2B, vote Yusuf Dati for presidency, because that is the hope all Nigerians. That is what we need right now. We must move away from the status quo. We must move away from the corrupt system.
Yes.
We must move away and walk into a new hope, into a new light. You cannot continue to do the same thing over
this
and
is how
over
we've been
and
doing
over
it before.
and over.
We're tired of that.
And expect a different result.
No, you can't. You can't.
And you see, I always tell people that in a generous community, no one should be left
behind at all.
In a generous community,
everybody should be included. And
it was the Kwame Nkrumah that says that there's no self to be saved. What is to be saved is we. It's about us.
Yes.
It's a we concept. It's about Nigeria. It's about our unity. It's about, in our national anthem, it said, "Arise, O compatriot." The Nigeria, arise. Please, now that INEC are saying, come and pick up your PVC. Please, I beg you. Charlie Boy will say, Amumu don't do.
You don't do.
You don't do, I beg. Waka, go INEC office. If person who come say, make you carry 5,000, make you give them your PVC, tell them, say, no be this time,
5,000 cannot buy you.
No be this time, I beg. Remember, there are people, a lot of Nigerians who have died in the hospital because of lack of poor infrastructure in the hospital. Many people have died because of lack of good road.
Yes.
There are so many. Do it for the sake of those people. Do it for the sake of our community. Do it for the sake of our incoming generation. And when we do it,
Nigeria will be better.
Nigeria will be better.
Nigeria will be great again.
We will be the pride of Africa.
Yes, that we are, and we want to remain the giant of Africa.
And remember, the rest of African countries are waiting for Nigeria.
Yes.
Because if we get it right,
they will start getting it right.
I will tell you, the Cameroon, Paul Biya will go. And
follow suit.
All these countries that are Nigeria being held down, they will go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all Nigerians. We really appreciate you. We encourage you to view, like, share, subscribe. Every Saturday, we put in this podcast. Please follow us on
Facebook. The Voice of Nigeria, in Diaspora. And remember, the Voice of Nigeria is brought to you by you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.